panel and the discussion about the financing possibilities for Ukrainian films and Ukrainian filmmakers in Europe, in Poland and in Europe. We will be, of course, basing on three elements. European Solidarity Fund for Ukrainian Films, and welcome Lucille Revelon, project manager of the Solidarity Fund, online with us. We have representative of Ukrainian Institute, Iryna Kyporenko. Hello, Iryna, thank you for being with us. We have Paulina Czech-Majnowska, I will say Deputy Manager of Film Production and Development at the Polish Film Institute. So we have three important legs in this financing system. We have also producer Katarzyna Kuczyńska. Kasia, okay? Kasia Kuczyńska. Experience in co-productions and cooperation with Ukrainian filmmakers on Ukrainian films. And I'll pass the word. My name is Maria Kraus. I'll be happy to run this discussion and this panel. And thank you, 10th Ukraina Festival Filmowy, for making this floor possible for the discussion and exchange, which is still never-ending necessity to continue cooperation, Polish-Ukrainian cooperation, European cooperation, to make things possible and the stories out. So I'll pass the word to Martyna.
Hello everyone, I'm representing the 10th Ukraine Film Festival. Thank you for coming, all our guests, and Iryna and Lucille as well. Thanks to Polish Film Institute for making it, Kasia, we're waiting for Dariusz. I hope this is going to be a successful panel, and I would like to pass the word to the first secretary of Embassy of Ukraine in Poland, Larisa Sidorenko, please.
Będę mówiła po polsku i jestem troszeczkę przygotowana, więc przepraszam z góry za to, że troszeczkę przeczytam. Szanowni Państwo, drodzy przyjaciele, przede wszystkim ja chciałabym serdecznie złożyć gratulacje z okazji otwarcia 10. Ukraińskiego Festiwalu Filmowego. To naprawdę jest wyjątkowe wydarzenie, które od lat buduje mosty między naszymi kulturami, a jednocześnie przypomina, że sztuka filmowa potrafi łączyć ludzi ponad granicami i wrażliwościami. Ten festiwal pokazuje, że mimo wojny i cierpienia nadal walczymy o przyszłość i o kulturę, którą chcemy pokazać naszym dzieciom. Chcemy, by nasi przyjaciele w Polsce i w całej Europie poznali prawdziwą Ukrainę, zobaczyli, jak żyjemy i jak walczymy. Szanowni Państwo, w imieniu Ambasady Ukrainy Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej pragnę serdecznie powitać Państwa na dzisiejszym panelu producenckim, który stanowi doskonałą okazję do wymiany doświadczeń i refleksji nad współczesnymi kierunkami rozwoju międzynarodowych projektów filmowych. Dzisiejszy panel poświęcony współczesnym ścieżkom rozwoju międzynarodowej produkcji filmowych to kolejny krok pogłębienia tej współpracy. Cieszymy się, że Polska dołączyła w 2025 roku do Europejskiego Funduszu Solidarności na rzecz filmów ukraińskich, poszerzając wspólnoty europejskich partnerów wspierających twórców z Ukrainy. Wierzymy, że dzięki takim inicjatywom ukraińskie kino będzie nadal się rozwijać, zdobywać nowe rynki i inspirować widzów w całej Europie. Pragnę serdecznie podziękować wieloletniej dyrektor Festiwalu Filmowego, pani Beacie Wierońskiej-Lech i całej rodzinie, całej ekipie Luna Plus oraz wszystkim osobom zaangażowanym w przygotowanie tego festiwalu za waszą wieloletnią pracę na rzecz promocji ukraińskiego kina w Polsce. Korzystając z okazji, chciałabym jeszcze podziękować Ministerstwu Kultury i Dziedzictwa Narodowego Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, Polskiemu Instytutowi Sztuki Filmowej oraz miastu stołecznemu Warszawa za stałe wsparcie różnych projektów kulturalnych tutaj w Polsce. No i życzę Państwu owocnych dyskusji, inspirujących spotkań i wielu nowych idei, które zaowocują kolejnymi wspólnymi projektami filmowymi. I mam nadzieję, że następna 11. edycja Festiwalu Filmowego będzie będzie w wolnej Ukrainie pokojowej. Dziękuję.
So there will be one guest participant, Dariusz Jabłoński. He will join us in the meantime. I'm sorry for this introduction in Polish. I hope that the intention of it was understood. So let's go into the maybe first thing I would like to put here. So to describe a bit a landscape of this financing situation now in Europe, in Poland, and in Europe, in Ukraine, and I would like to address the first question to you, Iryna. What are your goals and what is your main concerns regarding the financing films now, these days during the war time? What are your main focus when you are deciding on granting the funds?
Hello, thank you for having me today here. And I apologize that I cannot be with you in person today. But I send my words and hello from Odessa, Ukraine. The question is, it will be difficult to describe in a few sentences, but in general, situation with financial Ukrainian films was difficult before invasion and before the war because of the different reasons of political situations, of the general social situation in the country, because of the question of education in the film industry, and so many different reasons. And of course, the war that started in 2014 and temporary occupation of Crimea and part of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions affected on the film industry as well. It cannot affect the art and the artists. And invasion in the full-scale invasion after affected the film industry as well. For the last 3 years, we didn't have like a pitching session from the Ukrainian Film State Agency, like official system how it works in other countries. But I hope we will have it next year. It's also an open question, and we're waiting the announcement, the decision, institutions that connected with the state budget money, they are all awaiting the end of the year when the parliament will vote for the budget for the next year, and then we will see how they will, how money they want to invest and able to invest in the culture, and especially in the film industry. So the system is that we have Ukrainian Film State Agency, the main body who aim to support film production. But not only, there are also a Ukrainian Cultural Foundation that support audiovisual content and films also eligible. So different types of the films, audiovisual content. Sometimes they try to create some additional programs to fill the gap, as example, development stage or something like that. Suspilne, Ukrainian public broadcaster, they also start working in sports and production, mostly documentaries for now, as I know, and they became quite active in sports in production, and they also start production, they're making production films, and of course Ukrainian Institute that I'm represented. We are part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but we promote Ukrainian films abroad. We help Ukrainian filmmakers to find the partners abroad. And usually we support Ukrainian delegations at the international film markets. And one of the main goals to provide these opportunities for networking, to pitch the projects, to explain how the teams and production company can work. And then we also have a program called Promotion to support actually promotion for Ukrainian films, and this is already for the films at the rough cut stages. So we didn't support production directly, but we helped the filmmakers to find the partners. And this is a very long process, as we know. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to explain to the politicians, to the other people who is not involved in the industry, what does it mean when you spend money now for the delegation and they will travel to IFA or to Warsaw Film Festival or other places, and what next? And sometimes after 2-3 years, you know how it mostly works. After some big period, you can see the results. As I mentioned, our program promotion we implemented with Yevrimaj, and last years we support a few films that co-produced with Poland. I think I can mention one film Flowers of Ukraine by Adelina Borets, My Dear Theo by Iryna Kyporenko.
Both present at this festival, this edition.
Yes, and I expecting more
So
next year.
as I understand your what you said, Iryna, is that you are working now hardly on a cultural diplomacy. This is the main sort of the surroundings you are focusing on, and most important also to be Ukrainian filmmakers visible in Europe on one hand, and on the other is to like speak loud about the Ukrainian topics, various ones, both fiction, documentaries. So yeah.
Yeah, all genres we supported, but and you also asked what the main goals. So actually, it's to speak about Ukraine through films. We do not have some specific topic. We do not provide like please provide us projects and films only about this, and this. But of course, you know that all films and projects connected with war, and sometimes we want to have more films about historical questions or topics or like more films about, I don't know, animals or something like that. But you cannot say to filmmaker, please provide me this or this. So we just try to find the project and films that have international potential and can be interesting for the international audience and understandable. So this is like a few main things.
Thank you, Iryna, for this word. I will pass to Lucille and to underline what's happened in 2023 when the Solidarity Fund was launched during the Berlinale. And would you like to say a few words? What are the origins of it, and of course how it functions? I'm sure that many filmmakers know it from your website and know it personally from different film events around Europe, but then, you know, seeing you saying those things much might help to understand the functioning of this fund. So please say a few words on that.
Of course. First of all, I want to thank you all very much for inviting me to take part in this discussion. And it's especially meaningful to be in this Ukrainian festival in Poland, even from a distance, as the Polish Film Institute is our most recent contributor, as we were able to announce in last May during the Cannes Film Festival. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. About the fund, it's in the name that it is a solidarity fund for Ukrainian films. And it is indeed a collective solidarity response to the full-scale invasion of 2022. So the initiative was first discussed in May 2022 at the Cannes Film Festival during a General Assembly of the European Film Agencies Directors Association, which is called the EFAD in short. So the French CNC proposed a common initiative to support the Ukrainian film industry at this time. And a few months later, the fund was officially established, and the first call for projects was launched, as you said, at the 2023 Berlinale. And the fund was officially launched by the Ministers of Culture of France, Germany, and Luxembourg. So to highlight this, this joint character. And the fund began initially with 13 contributors, and now the number has grown to reach 19 contributors. So we are talking about 18 contributors from different European countries, speaking about national cinema centers or ministries of culture, which are all members of the IFAD association, and the association itself is also a contributor. So, as a solidarity initiative, the fund's goal is to empower the Ukrainian film industry by providing grants, first of all, and with providing these grants by fostering co-productions between Ukraine and the contributing countries. So, just to say a few more words about the history of this fund, it initially began the development and finalization support scheme. Because the idea was then to provide an immediate response to an urgent situation. So it was to provide relief to projects which had been interrupted mid-shooting by the conflict, and to encourage the emergence of new stories as well. But of course, the situation evolved, and in October 2024, so 1 year ago, the fund evolved towards production support, which was a request of the film community and which enabled us to grant a more important amount.
Yes, and it was very, very important step to not only continue certain projects interrupted by the Russian aggression, but to actually make the new cooperations, right? So yes, what you said, I'm very happy that the Polish Film Institute and Poland joined the Solidarity Fund, and that we can also, as Polish producers, contribute and participate in this Solidarity Fund with the projects and filmmakers from Ukraine. So I'll ask Paulina Czech-Malinowska, representative of Polish Film Institute, to say a few words about that, and also to say about the current possibilities of making films in Poland as we something technically interrupt here, because of course the Polish producers can go in this situation to Solidarity Fund with Ukrainian directors and Ukrainian partners, but also Ukrainian filmmakers may participate in a regular production in Poland, which is happening, and soon tell us more Katarzyna and Dariusz about it.
First of all, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy about this initiative to talk about the possibilities, especially with producers on board, because we are talking about the institutions, but to be honest, at the end of the day, it's always about people and people who connect each other and bring beautiful projects, and it's up to them to make things happen and to develop amazing stories, which we believe, as mentioned before, it's not only about supporting certain type of subjects, it's more about finding stories that we all share, that we all, as filmmakers, believe are important to tell. So, as a Polish Film Institute, we are like the main funding body for film in general in Poland, and we provide different types of support. It's not only about production money, which is obvious, and I think producers will be able to talk about it a little bit more, because we have, like, of course, regular programs for production, for development, for co-productions, for script writing. But what is very important to mention is that it's on our side. Supporting Ukrainian filmmakers is not only about providing support money put into production, but also facilitating and providing support for different types of events that we also can, in which we can also participate. And we are very happy, of course, and I'm very happy to see Lucille here, because joining the Ukrainian Support Fund was really a big step for us. But we have to also remember that when the invasion happened, it was a very special moment, I think, for all of filmmakers in Poland and also for the Polish Film Institute. And since the day one, I remember that we are sitting and thinking what we can do in order to support our colleagues and to provide the best thing we can. So I just would like to remind that for the first 2 years we had a program which was Polish-Ukrainian Initiatives, and we see results of this program. It was 10 million Polish zlotys put into different types of initiatives. We have many projects that were results of development and production, and many documentaries especially that we see now are results of this program. And this program was, I think, in many ways provided an immediate reaction, but also possibility to shape the connections, to shape the production in a way that producers found most, let's say, useful in a way, because as an institution we don't usually have all of the tools to react. We only have certain tools in which we can react. So that's why I'm coming back to the producers. It's always about the connection and collaboration, finding right people. And when the program finished, we of course started talking about coming to the Ukrainian Fund, but also it is also very important subject, the general collaboration between our cinematography in general, for our current director of the Institute, and it can actually be seen in certain steps that are visible, and we are working with Ukrainian Embassy in Poland on, let's say, exchanging experiences and looking for new ways how to communicate and collaborate in a way. This year we started, we have 20th anniversary of Polish Film Institute, and we opened it actually with an overview of Ukrainian films. So it's also a sign that we really see it as one of our major, let's say, focus points in how we think about shaping our connections in Europe in general. And then, actually a few days ago, we signed a memorandum about the collaboration between the institutes, between Poland, the Polish Film Institute and Ukrainian Film Agency, in which actually we mentioned what I just said, that it's very important for us to talk, to communicate, and to give stage to stage to the subject of bilateral collaboration. And just when we spoke yesterday, I kind of panicked a little bit about the statistics, but I checked what I could, and looking back for last 4 years, we have around 30 or 32 supported projects in different programs, and it's taking into consideration all of the supported projects in film productions is a kind of a really good number. And it's not only about the data that I can see, the Ukrainian co-production or let's say a mutual subject between Poland and Ukraine. In many projects we have Ukrainian filmmakers, and I can see it also during our expert committees, very often taking part in many pitched projects. So yes, the subject is very important, and that's it.
I'm very happy about this number, and that we can not panic anymore. That can continue the expansion of this cooperation, because of course it's a setting the cooperation for these days a bit under the worst circumstances, but it's for the future. It will stay here, and as much close we are, it will make a percentage in the future.
Yes, of course, and one more thing. Once again, I cannot stress enough the importance of all of the other events apart from production, like initiatives that come actually from the market. They can also be supported in different departments of Polish Film Institute. Not only festivals, but all different types of initiatives, like providing subtitles for movies, events for children that need to meet and create community around movies. So we can really think make a brainstorm and have an open mind for different types of how we can provide stage and support our colleagues.
Which you said is very important, because it's how to provide and support our colleagues, but also how to meet the audience, and the Ukrainian audience, not only in Warsaw, but in Poland, in total, in other European countries, is to be meet, and to be meet them is also subtitling what you said, Paulina, which is super important.
Exactly, and as we all know, creating audience is the main task now. It's not only production, but we really would like to see people coming back to cinemas. And in general, creating audience is like one of our main goals now.
Super. So now, as you ask, I will pass micro to Katarzyna to share her producing experience on Kasia. Sorry, Kasia Katarzyna.
Both works for me.
Yes, on Ukrainian Films. You did 2 films by Alisa Kowalenko. I encourage you to come to the festival and to watch My Dear Tio, but there are others online and other possibilities. But for now, please be audience at the festival. Kasia, please share your cooperation and also underline this co-production you did in that.
So I served in 2 roles. In the first situation, I was a minority co-producer. In the second one, the My Dear Tale that's being screened at the festival, I was a majority producer. And I must say that producing Ukrainian films require a lot of creativity from the producer, because in general, doing films, art house films, especially documentaries, require creativity, and you know, the films that I did are war related, are war themed. It's kind of obvious how much we would like not to say that and hear that, but the market is kind of full and limited, and I can see how much easier it was to do We Will Not Fade Away rather than My Dear Tale. That being said, I was very lucky, and it's true, I was very lucky because I got a very big pile of money for this film from a private donor from US. This is a luck that very few people may have probably. And then I got great co-producers from Czech Republic, the Ichlava fund I was again lucky because it was the first edition of this fund and it was open to everyone. Now it's limited only to Czech or Slovak films. So I was again very, very lucky. And I was also very lucky because I had a great minority Ukrainian producer, Alexandra Kravchenko and Daria Basel. They are amazing. So we had a great team of people and a great financing opportunities, and the cherry on top was Polish Film Institute that supported the project. But what's important, also regarding what Paulina said, is that we got support not only for production, but also during the production we were supported when we went to Candocs to pitch. And then we were supported during our 2 premieres, world premiere and US premiere. It was extremely helpful, and I couldn't stress it enough how much I value it. But it requires a lot of creativity and requires a lot of patience towards, for example, broadcasters and sales agents who kind of love your project, but they're afraid of the market, so they would like to hear back from you when you have the world premiere, and then you think, oh, no. Well, after I do all the hard work, I will not give you my film. So it's also that, but we also were the beneficiary of, as Iryna said, the Ukrainian Institute grant for promotion, which also supported our American premiere because it's expensive, so we needed more sources. And yes, so only Solidarity Fund is not this is the only the one fund I did not yet get to try. But also because I think I was not eligible as a majority producer, right?
We were not eligible at all.
Because we weren't part.
Yes.
Yeah. We were planning to try it, I think, at some point, because in the beginning it was also Denmark, but then stuff happened.
Yeah, but just to say, of course, the money are needed. More money is needed always, but at the same time, and there will be never enough money, I must say. But at the same time, it always needs creativity and this setup, the people setup, the ideas set up around the project, as you said, but yes, mentioning that the Polish Film Institute support also promotion, please remember it when the film is ready, when it goes to a festival, when it travels around the world. This is also supported by Polish Film Institute, and it wouldn't be existing in that scale without that money. It's just simply that, and it doesn't have to be big one. But even the smallest amount is helpful. So have it in mind whenever your films are ready to be spread to the world.
Yes, and I must say that I'm tremendously amazed by my fellow Ukrainian producers, colleagues, for I have this institution behind me, I have other possibilities. Their possibilities are so much limited right now, and yet they are so tough with pushing it through and pursuing the project. So I have a lot of respect for their devotion.
Which is also very important, to set those co-productions in a fair balance of what we are bringing to the production, and the money is not always everything, or even it's a smaller part of it. The ideas, the creative input, this is something that is valuable and should be put on the table also as a copyright share, right? Dariusz, I won't be introducing you in a proper way because you are an institution yourself, not only a producer who's engaged much longer than we ever imagined that it would be such a big cooperation between Poland and Ukraine, standing behind the solidarity acts, supporting Oleg Sentsov and many other filmmakers, but this support for Oleg Sentsov in his release was like the poster one, I would say, and super important to keep tight our groups together in this subject. So please say a bit words about how we can cooperate even tighter. And how we can support Ukrainian filmmakers even more, not only with demanding the focus on Ukraine, because we all understand that the focus on culture is also a part of the war. So we need to keep the focus on Ukraine, on the Ukrainian topics, on Ukrainian filmmakers. So please share a few thoughts on that.
Thank you very much for your very kind words. I would like to say that I'm very happy that my Polish colleagues, producers like Kasia, younger people, went in a wide wave, to cooperate with Ukrainian filmmakers, and this is wonderful. This is what makes me proud to be Polish. And also, I want to say and underline that no matter what personal management was, Polish Film Institute was always, even from Magda Stroka, was always supporting Polish-Ukrainian co-productions. And Polish Film Institute was first, who immediately after aggression established this scheme for supporting documentaries only. I was trying to push them to feature film, but it didn't happen. I don't know what's happened that we are not present in solidarity funds. Lucille, hello, my pleasure to see you here. I used the data you sent to me, and during Warsaw Film Festival I showed many successful Ukrainian titles presented on the biggest festivals, which were supported by the fund. But the small fund made these films finished. And that was enormous, because there was no other source for finishing these films. So I want to say that Polish Film Institute and Ministry of Culture, I'm very happy that they have very constant and very supporting this co-production. And I share the belief, because I think it's not about, just cooperation or co-production, it's about telling our stories, because we are absolutely sure, watching what is going on in the world, we see that our narration about our region, about Moscow, about their imperialistic, desires, and the threat they create to all of us, but first of all to you, to Ukrainian friends, has to be told in many ways, not directly, not about war only. Even yesterday film, I love this film, You Are the Universe, is telling the same story again, about freedom, about the right to love. So that's why I believe that still there is a war, and still people are dying on the front, and this is tragic. And I'm every day praying for my younger brother, Oleg Sentsov, who is on toughest battles of this war, that he's still alive. And to keep him thinking about future, we developed his new project now with Denis Ivanov and Heino Decker. But we have to think about the post-war situation. And we have to build elements and foundation for our future cooperation, which will be just normal, standard cooperation, but as a mission. It's never about money, believe me, we are younger filmmakers, I'm doing art house films since 35 years. It's never about money. It is only about friendship, about mission, about sharing the same passion, and the admiration to talent. And I want to come back for a second to the European Solidarity Fund, because as you know, Polish Film Academy was coordinating support of European filmmakers for Ukrainian filmmakers. First of all, sending them protection, bulletproof vests, helmets, 200 items, were sent. When I saw Serhiy Zhadan in our helmet and vest in Kharkiv, I said, we did it. We tried to preserve, we tried to protect them. And then I saw all of them being two edition expert of European Solidarity Fund. And I saw all these names. We were sending equipment, protection, and we saw them. There were always women, not only men, I have to say, I have to underline it. And the women were supporting us in coordinating of this support. Olia Bezchmielnicna and others. And then I saw the talent of Ukrainian cinema, and I have to say, you have a huge potential. You have fantastic potential, you are making great films. I have to say that very often I'm jealous that Polish filmmakers are not that passionate about contemporary work, about reality. So I see a huge potential. We have to build elements, we have to build the house to make it normal, and I'm very happy also. This is very also important, and I'm very frank and open, as you know. There was a big problem on Ukrainian side with the head of the Держkino, the agency, which was not supported by the community. Now we have big chance. Andrzej Osipov was in Poland. We had a long talk, and I told him that if you want to cooperate with us, you have to go along with the film community. Always. You have to have support of Denis Ivanov, Natalia Boroshvik, Marysia Nikitiuk or Olia Bezchmielnicna. You have to go with them because they are the best. They are wonderful producers. So I believe that, what you did with this memorandum, it's something we have to continue in building common fund, not only for films, but also for series. And we have to start writing these projects. Because, in co-production, I can tell you, so everything what I did in the last 35 years is in co-production, it's about common contribution. It's not about percentage of shares. It doesn't matter because there are no money after all. There are money from the production, and we are happy that we did it. But what is very important, we have to share the cost. You know it. We did it together. And we have to share the cost, we have to share the artistic contribution, we have to share talents, and we have to have common stories. Let us look for the stories, even the most difficult. I'm always, even before the aggression, I was talking to great filmmakers about doing film, about vowing together. Film is a wonderful tool. We can touch even the most difficult subjects if we are courageous. And I have no doubt that Ukrainians are wonderful and courageous.
And I would add that Ukraine has wonderful humor also, which is present in their films, which is extraordinary. Also in the Yesterday's film.
Yesterday, absolutely.
Excellent. So
It was funny story, you know, because You Are the Universe was in first edition, and it was very difficult to explain, especially French representative in the commission, you know, how funny this film is, you know, because she had a problem to understand Ukrainian humor. For me, Ukrainian and Polish is very close humor, I have to say. So I was telling her, it's wonderful comedy, and she said, no, it looks like very serious. So we have to go together, we have to support each other, because if we don't understand each other, who can?
So passion, stories, and humor. I would like to ask you if there is some questions coming to your mind, and any questions to our panelists. Please use occasion to.
Can I use this occasion to, because I have to run?
Yes.
So answer on my behalf. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you around during the festival.
Yes, run and make films, of course, make another cooperation. So if there is any question from the audience, please, no, yes?
No, just
Very short and obvious, what are the next opportunities for the Ukrainian producers and Polish producers to work together?
I would answer very simply. You know, when I was expert in the European Solidarity Fund, this fund works like this: the applicant must be donating country citizen. So Poland, unfortunately, I saw and I was almost crying, you know, because all the Ukrainian talents went to the other countries to ask them to apply. So that's why my first meeting with Ministry of Culture, newly elected government, and my request was the only one. I said, please make Poland participating in this fund, and the Polish Film Institute did it. Thank you so much. And now you can go together with Polish producers to apply for the fund for development and for the production. And the rules of the fund, it's easy to read. It's very important. It's not only just, yeah, Lucy can add to this, yes.
Yes, sorry that I have to interrupt you. Just to say that now it's not grants for development and finalization anymore. It's really a full only production support, because we had to concentrate all the budget efforts of the fund to grant higher amounts. But of course, projects are welcome to apply.
Yes, but this is very important fund, not because of the money. I want to promote it, because it's created under IFAT umbrella. IFAT is an organization of all public funds in Europe. And some of them, not all of them, but many of them, put money to the basket. If you are given the funding from this fund, it's like a stamp for all the public funds. This is a certification of solidity, you know. So this is very important, even if money are not the biggest, still, you know, come on, this money is okay, right? It could be even, you know, 20% for documentary, even more than 20% of the budget. So it's worth to go there, apply, look for producers you can go with, and Polish producers are eligible as well as other countries' producers. But it's very fair fund, because the shares coming from this funding are staying on Ukrainian producer. So this is not like, you know, we gave money to the fund and then Danish producer applies and gets the profits. No, it's going to Ukrainian.
It can be split between the co-producers, but it's mostly, obviously, due to the situation of difficulty to find financing in Ukraine and the Ukrainian share. A lot of the time, the producers choose to put it entirely on the Ukrainian share. But it can also be split differently. But of course, as you said, it's often the case. And just to maybe to take this opportunity to let you know about what is open currently, what is possible, what are the upcoming possibilities for producers. So the fund works through a call for projects mechanism, which means it's not an ongoing submission for the year, it's only a certain time. And in 2025, there was only one call for production support, because projects can get up to 200,000 euros for fiction and up to 90,000 euros for documentary. So this is a substantial share of their budget. And in order to focus this effort, we had only one call. And the results have not been announced yet because the selection committee has not met, but there are around 12 projects will be supported, and it will be announced at the end of November. And for next year, so right now there is no call which is currently open, and the fund is renewed in an annual manner, because when it was launched initially for just 1 year, as it was an emergency response, and then it was renewed, and each year the contributors meet at the end of the year to officially decide upon whether the fund is renewed or not. So for now, we do not have any certainties on this, but if the fund is renewed, there will of course be a new call for projects, and I just invite you all to closely follow the website, for instance, which always gives this information, and if there is a call, all the information necessary is on our website and communications.
Okay, I wanted to be kind of obvious. So the first thought that came to my mind is what Mr. Jabłoński said, that people, yes, so when's the next opportunity? It's now. Like, you have festival, you have events, and the first thing you need for co-production, we cannot stress it enough, and it comes from the mastermind of, let's say, many projects, is that you have to find the right people. It's not only about networking, it's not only about finding opportunities for networking. We have many festivals, many events in Poland that where you can meet producers, and where you can watch Polish movies. It's not only about finding a mutual understanding in collaboration, but also finding a mutual kind of feeling for movies, aesthetics, and if you like something, you can always reach us at the Polish Film Institute. We cannot provide you like directly go to this, go to that, but we can help with networking. We can kind of direct you in some kind of way where to look for certain things. So just wanted to stress it also, that we are also always open for any kind of questions. You can write to us. This is the first thing. Second thing is that this year we are doing our third session for production, and we just finished the application process, and we are doing the assessment. So the call for this year is already closed for production and development. I'm happy to announce that we yesterday accepted the operational programs, which still will be published soon, but you can also check that, what will be the programs for next year, and the next session will be around the end of January. Usually there are 3 calls per year, so it's January, May, and September. I would also like to encourage you to use the development fund in general, just to check the possibilities and to develop the project, because good development is the way to success in production. And also remember that we also have different kind of support, which is the cash rebate. It's a little bit more, let's say, difficult in a way for smaller projects, but there is also a different source of financing on the Polish market, also coordinated by the Polish Film Institute. Yes.
I would like to add that I hope the Polish Film Institute will be a first lobbyist for renewing this Solidarity Fund for next year, and I would like to thank CNC for managing this fund so wonderfully with so much sensitiveness. And also what is very important, very practical things for you who are here in Poland, because we asked this question to Polish Film Institute and we have clear answer. Every Ukrainian who has official papers, PESEL and all this kind of things in Poland is eligible Polish spend. This is very important because every fund keeps money on Polish citizens, I mean Polish residents or Polish companies. You are eligible if you are staying here with the papers. So this is very important.
Which also allows you to ask for the grant from Polish Film Institute, personal grant, right, for script writing or other stuff. To apply for production, you need to have a company here, or you need to have a Polish producer who will apply for that. But so, if you are a director, you have several opportunities. You can go to KIPA, which is Producers Alliance in Poland. You can present them the project and ask them that you are looking for the producer for this project and to spread the news. If you are a producer, if you are a director, you can go to DoClub Poland without a producer and still looking for a producer. So there are ways. There are also people who are willing to advise, consult, and help you in any other possible way to push you and to make you visible in this market, which is not easy. It's not easy also for us, right? We are struggling in many ways, but at the same time we understand that this is the kind of, I don't know, moral obligation, historical obligation we all want to Putin to be defeated quickly. So yes, this is the common will. Is there any other comment or question you would like?
I'm happy to be here with everybody, with you. My name is Miłosz Sawicki. I'm a Polish director and producer from today, because I'm starting my combat in producing actually today morning. And I'm happy to do. And I'm finished film school in Łódź on April, and I made film about Ukraine during the beginning of the war. And right now I have support from the Studio Munch and some War on Screen Film Festival for my next short movie, and I will do, as a producer and director, my next short movie in Ukraine in next April. And because it's my start of it's the beginning of my producing story, I have a question for the European Solidarity Foundation and for the Polish Institute film about some suggestions, maybe some procedures for film set in source in Ukraine. In source, I mean ubezpieczenie. It's correct? Insurance. Insurance?
Insurance, nobody will give you.
Insurance. Yeah. I'm old, I'm 33 years, and I know what I do, because I will do shooting close to the Kiev. And so maybe you don't have some procedures and installation or rules how to do this correctly.
Usually in this kind of situation, my advice is to ask your fellow producers, because it's not about procedures, but it's about exchanging the real know-how, let's say, on how to deal with certain situations which are not always institutionally available, or that would be my first advice. Yes.
It's very difficult, it's war, as you know. So today my crew, I'm Lithuanian director Šarūnas Bartas, who is my friend, is in Odessa and scouting, and he wants to make film there. And I took this risk with him. Of course, to a certain degree you can protect him, through the official authorization, through the government, through the military, because Odessa is under military situation, but there is a personal risk. This is obvious. So, my advice would be, to, if you are taking equipment, ask company which gives you equipment to take the same risk, not to put this risk on you, because it's not possible to cover it. So, but there are possibilities. Daniel Kocur had shooting in Kiev, and there were other wonderful Polish directors, female directors I know also, who made shooting in Ukraine, but this is all your personal risk. There will be no any official coverage on that.
Yeah, I understand, but maybe it's a question for Iryna, because you have experience a lot of. For example, for insurance. Okay, that's shit. Insurance for example, for camera. I know in Ukraine there's another rules. It's true. I have a live producer from Ukraine part, so Katerina, my live producer, know very well, but about it. But it's true, in Ukraine doesn't exist any insurance. For example, even for camera. Yeah, it's all.
Maybe I will help Iryna, because I know it perfectly because we are shooting all the time there. The possibility you have either to talk to Polish rentals and talk to them. I know one company which we agreed that they will send cameras on their own risk. This is one thing. But second, very interesting, but talk to your Ukrainian production manager. There are Ukrainian companies there who have a lot of equipment and they want this equipment to work. So like Patriot is the biggest one. I worked with Patriot a few times. And they want their people work, and they have many men hired, engaged, and they want them to work because they cannot leave the country. So talk to Patriot, talk to even to smaller companies, talk to Ukrainian producers, and they will tell you how they solve it, because they are working all the time. 1+1 broadcaster told me how they are shooting telenovela in the shelter. And that's easy because they don't have to hide anymore. So they are very smart. Talk to them. This is very important. Networking. That's what I want to suggest. What you said perfectly. Networking is the best way to make co-production. Talk to other people who did it, and they will share with you with no problem. There are many Polish producers. I see Krzysztof, who has experience as well, but you have wonderful Ukrainian producers who are sometimes allowed to go to Cannes or to Berlin. You can meet them, Denis Ivanov, Władimir Yatsenko, Maxima Sachi, Natalia Libet. Women are easier, traveling. Ola Bezkminitsina, and many, many others. Talk to them, they will help you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I must say I'm a documentary filmmaker for 30 years and a professor at the University of Warsaw. And I have a question to Mrs. Paulina Czech-Malinowska, because I'm very interested in what you say about creating audience program. Could you tell us a little bit more about your goals? Because in my opinion, the main goal for us is how to help to get a special goal, the end of war. And it's also a call for filmmakers. Thank you.
When I said creating audience, I meant that in general, really thinking about cinematography, not necessarily in the times of war or thinking just about cinematography. What is real is that young audience is very often not used to watching big forms, let's say. They prefer watching different forms, or maybe not even going to cinemas. So I believe that in thinking about the cinematography in general and supporting films, it's not only about producing things, it's also taking care of having people who appreciate film as not only a form of art, but who are used to absorbing this kind of message. So it's not only about them going to cinema, it's also about them being aware of this form of message. It's also about people, about film schools. It's in general like whole thinking of on which part of our cinematography we should focus, and not necessarily on always on producing films, because there has to be a second side of the story. You know, people have to watch the movies, and they have to understand, and they have to, you know, create also some kind of community around it. And it's not very obvious in today's world. And it's also about cinema itself as a source of, as a place to go, as a way of watching movies. And I think it's very important that one of the roles for Polish Film Institute is to preserve cinemas and support them. So that was my idea, that there are also different ways of supporting cinematography in general, not always focusing on the production part itself.
You know, this is big issue. In Venice, European Commission revealed that the Europeans watching YouTube are more than all other platforms, more than Netflix, Amazon, and other platforms together. You know? So talk YouTube about the forms, but cinema, I totally agree. We have to preserve cinema as much as possible, because this is an unusual experience. But also building audience, I would use it as an occasion to talk about more political value, because I know from data that there is an issue with Polish viewers at this festival, because of the atmosphere in Poland, because of the work which is done by Russian trolls, you know, and their supporters. And creating audience means, you know, grabbing your friends and go to Ukrainian festival to show Ukrainian films. In that sense, we have to promote it. That this is good cinema. It's not only about war. It's about important things, sometimes very funny, you know. And in that sense, we have to put a lot of efforts, you know, because audience sometimes goes where it's easy, and we have to work on it in our common interest.
Which regards all kinds of art house cinema. Actually, we are talking about Ukrainian cinemas, but it's documentary cinema. It's all kinds of subjects which are not visible in a mainstream screenings, and also I can presume that is why Polish Film Institute started the priority of distribution of documentary films in cinemas. We will see how it goes. This is the first year of this priority, and of the distributing the small amounts of money to few tens a year, 10 session. I don't remember now. In first session it was 5 or 6 projects.
I think it's 10 in general, as far as I remember.
It's 10 in general for the whole year.
Something like
So
now, after the sessions. I mean.
This is also a big discussion, because we focused the past years on the production, on development, but somehow we forget about the distribution, about the getting to the audience with what we did, because we are already very effective in producing. We know what we do. No?
Don't exaggerate.
Well, we somehow professionalize still. There is money on the market, there is money for production from different bodies. Of course, Polish Film Institute, Ministry of Culture, through the dedicated institutions, regional funds, which works very well in Poland. But then there is a distribution and reaching the audience, showing what you did. So the money on this field, in this field, are also very important. If there is any would like to more questions or more thoughts to share, please.
Hi, my name is Artur. I'm a Ukrainian war veteran. I take part in the war till May 2022. Start like a soldier and like a lieutenant. Take part in the robot, and I think you know where is it. I'm studying in Karpenko in Kyiv in film school. So I have in my last life connect with filmmakers. But right now I live here in Warsaw. I don't know anybody who interested in my material. When I was being in work, I trying to be short-lived. So when I was being in the war, I was being with my father, and he said that I need trying to take photos and videos because you don't know if you will be alive. So maybe somebody take this and edit some of it. So I trying to to save this part of life of guys who don't live right now and who died for freedom. You know, this is a lot of material, a lot of hours, a lot of photographs at 35mm film camera, and I don't know what I need to do. Like, you know, when you come back in the civil communication with the people, you understand that you a little stupid. Sorry. So I just don't know where I find the people who interested in edit this, take a collaboration, or I don't know, to edit this together, create this project, and yeah. So what do you recommend? Thank you.
Coming back again to searching for community of producers, of people who are at film schools, great events also, and even you can write to me and I will provide you with a list of Polish companies, producer companies. And unfortunately, in many ways, it's sometimes harsh, let's say, a little bit, let's say, walking door to door in a way, because it's this kind of looking for and doing this kind of necessary research, let's say, research in many different ways, and you have many producers also here in this room.
So can I ask you? So you shot these materials, right? And you finished which department at school, at the university? Was it the directing? Was it the DOP? What was it?
Directing, yeah.
Directing.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think you might know some editors from Ukraine living here as a basic start for look over the materials? Yeah, we can talk after, and I'll be happy to give you some feedback and advice. What might be the step on it?
There's a great Ukrainian producer, Olga Zhuzhenko, so we can talk to her.
Yes,
Ask her for advice.
Okay.
There is Olga, of course. Good point. Olga, are you happy to meet Ukrainian filmmakers to help them?
I don't know, do you want a politically correct answer, short answer, or long answer? You know, the truth is that once you move to Poland, you're interested in Polish content. That's one thing. And then second thing is that, as the one producer already mentioned, the market is oversaturated with the Ukrainian war content. So I'm not surprised that you cannot find people interested to work with you. But the question is always not about the content, but about the angle that you choose for your content. There has been wars all over the place, and people are still doing films about Second World War. So it's not talking about oversaturation of the market. We're talking about an interesting angle towards the war that you are choosing. So if you have that, then it becomes interesting. So from your studies, from the director's courses, find an idea that you want to, convey to the people, and then it becomes something. I'm not sure if this is helpful.
This is realistic.
This is very much realistic, And yes, this is a knocking door to door. This is our also daily life, what we are experiencing as producers with where we have too many projects usually on the table and too many offers of the good projects on the table, and we need to make tough decisions what we are going with, what is able to be financed here in Poland.
Yes, and at the end of the day, it's always about the story. Yeah. So this is like the main point of it. Yeah.
And reaching audience at the end, finally. Yes, you need to show it somewhere, somehow. There has to be the interest, and you also need to think of it when you make a film.
You know, it's not difficult to edit yourself a few minutes and make a few minutes really powerful, and then it's much easier than to talk. It's difficult to compete with the piece which Oleg Sentsov did, the footage from his helmet camera. It's titled Real, you can find it maybe in the net. And then you can compete, you know, so make 5 minutes on your own computer and show us what is the value of the footage, because we react on footage, not on words. That's my advice.
Yes, and there is several films which are now running through the major festivals and running for the major awards about the war from the Ukrainian filmmakers. So the subject is still there, and there is still interest around the subject and war. So I wouldn't say that it's finished. It's what Olga said. It's about from which angle are you approaching the story and how do you show it, and also from the visual perspective. Yes, it is also important because we are talking about the cinema, not the TV content, even though it's shown in the TVs. So is there another remark, questions, would you like to share something? And yes, networking. We are somehow available. We are in the associations, institutions. Our mails are on outside there, even telephones. So this is about your. Yeah.
You have the biggest friends, you know. You have Lucille, you have Iryna, you have Paulina. Talk to them. They will always help you.
Very clever. Yes, they will help you, sending mails to us.
No. I know that Lucille and previously Manon Diverge, she was open, to talk to everybody, every Ukrainian producer, and was helping even in contacting with producers. So,
of course,
yeah.
And you can always reach out to email if you have, even if no call is currently open. It's always good if you have specific questions about a project or questions about whether or not you will be eligible. You can write me and we can have a call. And also, for instance, EdGroup is a quite competitive support scheme because we have about 15% support selecting rate, but still we take the time to provide personal feedback to all the applicants so that they can rework on their applications. So it's always a very open process, and we always try to have very open discussions with applicants or potential applicants. Anybody who is looking for information, we can also help with putting you in contact. For instance, if you would like to be put in contact with some producers, I would also invite people who are looking for either like directors or non-Ukrainian producers. If you're looking for Ukrainian producers, to go and look at our website where we list all the supported projects. And they are listed, and on each supported projects page, you can find the contact of both the Ukrainian producer and the producer from a contributing country. So this provides you with the first list of companies who may be interested in Ukrainian films and Ukrainian stories as well.
But of course, being introduced by, for example, Lucille, so first contact Lucille and then being introduced to the Ukrainian companies, producers, it's probably more highlight your position and your potential project. And same, I presume, with Iryna, who's doing this diplomacy background job around the Ukrainian community around the globe. So I think yes, this is something to be done, and it's in your hand. And yes, what Darek said, maybe editing yourself or find a friend editor.
Yes, that's a small comment from my side. So mostly every day I get the new projects or new rough cuts just for my information. Some filmmakers just send it and ask the questions, advices, and I think it's fine because on another day, as example, what happened 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago, the producer from the Netherlands, he asked me to provide some context for what projects now in the market, because he's looking for a project to produce, like Ukrainian project. So you never know who will be on your road tomorrow and what you will need. Maybe somebody will focus on some specific topic, and this is your case that you sent me yesterday, this example. And I also advise to follow the Ukrainian Institute page and mostly on Facebook to follow the opportunities, because usually, like mostly, we provide places for filmmakers mostly on the biggest markets and film festivals. So it's always good to try to apply and try to make your name and your title as visible as possible. And networking, I think it's the best way to start. But you already started to present yourself and speak about your project today. So yeah, just advise you keep going. And usually, sometimes you need to have maybe years to find your partner, but it's fine. This is how it works.
So I think we could hear directly from the institution who gives not only the money, but also the tools to co-produce, to meet, and to make a friendship in order to establish the co-production in films and to work with Ukrainian filmmakers around the world. You could hear directly from them what is the situation, what is the financial aspect and landscape. The possibilities are set up, they are here, the money also. Now it's crucial to make friendships, networking. Yes, so everything is here on the table. And of course there are challenges, there are some things which are not there, but some activity is in your hands. So please use it, contact us, contact the institutions. And I think there are a lot of films to be done in this cooperation, in this frame of cultural exchange too. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment, share on what today you've heard, or maybe what is their experience? So I would like to thank very much to Lucille Revelon. Thank you, Iryna Kyporenko, for being today with us online. Paulina Czech-Malinowska from Polish Film Institute, Dariusz Jaworski, and the president of Polish Film Academy. Yes, and please network after also a bit and discuss. Thank you very much for being here. The discussion will be available also online.
Thank you very much.
Yes.